Hey guys, welcome back to Brotherhood Banter. I'm Jake Vasquez with Dallas ODS Books and Latter-day Books and Gifts in Houston.
I'm Joey. I do online reputation management.
I'm Kenneth Holland, your local Dallas-Fort Worth residential friendly realtor.
It said recording started.
We're 10 seconds in.
Where'd you see that at? I don't see that.
Right above President's face.
Oh, I do see it. 20 seconds now.
Okay.
Wow, it's real big. It's real big and red.
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
These chocolates are really good. You should have some.
Wait, hold on. Let me turn up the volume on this phone. Click. Now I can hear you. So that's all it is.
Wow. Hey, but seriously, how's it been having a missionary in your home?
Oh man, I love it, man. You see a huge change in him spiritually. It's really cool. Like, they're not supposed to use their phones right now, but and he gave it to me. I just, I said, hey, so you got to hand it over. This is right before he was set apart, and he handed it to me. And but then in the MTC, they keep telling him, okay, take pictures of this, take pictures, because before you used to buy your phone. When Marcina went out, when Ruthie went out, you bought your phone, right? But now they give them to you in MTC, then you give them back. And then when you get to your mission, they give you the phones. So they don't have you buy them anymore. So he doesn't have a phone. And so he was like, hey, Dad, I'm going to have to use it. And man, it's so cool because I'm like, okay, but remember the Lord? He's like, Dad, trust me. I know the rules. And, I'm not going to lie, man. I looked down his phone to see if he just to see if he's being obedient, And man, there's messages from friends. He's not returning them, not looking at them, nothing. And he hasn't, and it's I love seeing that. I love seeing that he wants to be obedient, and and he's loving it. And his companion is like awesome. They both complement each other, and they're like the ones like, hey, let's see if we can get these other elders to join us for study group. And so they're doing stuff like that. So they get on the way it is now. Like when Ruthie and Marcina went through President Pauga, they were always, or at least Ruthie was, and I think Marcina too, because she just went a couple months later, if I'm right. But they were always in class, from morning to evening, and she was running just to get some food and then go back. But the way they have it set up now is they're in class from 8:30 to 11:30. Then they have a break. Then they go back at 5 o'clock, 5:30 to 8:30, and then they have a devotional probably around 1 o'clock. But what he and his companion do is they get online. And during that time, so he's always with his companion throughout the day. They're doing studying the language and studying the scriptures, and then they're also just having a fun time. And then they're trying to get other people from their district to join in, and it's been a really cool thing to see. So he'll come out and say hello and things like that. But as long as he has his companion online, then I don't have to be here. But whenever I leave, if I know it's going to be around the break time, then I'll have someone come and stay with him or stay in the house. Anyway, it's cool, man. I love it. I love seeing his testimony grow and how he's becoming more sensitive to the Spirit and that desire to be obedient. It's good. It's real good.
That's one thing I wish I could, if I can go back, right? You mentioned it a couple times, obedience, right? If I can go back, not that I was a rogue missionary or bad missionary, no, but just be more I'm going to use this term, stricter with, in my obedience to the rules, like getting up on time, and getting into bed on time and those type of things, right? Those things, because that's truly what brings the blessings, right? Is being obedient. And it's neat to hear you say that about him, how he's, trying to be obedient through all those rules.
100% obedience.
Okay, about an editing question. I got a question for you, President Pauga. This is more for you, tech side. Your editing software. I've been using crud. What is it? The stuff the Filmora, right? And I've been having so much trouble with it lagging. Are you having trouble with that when you're editing videos? No. You're on mute or something. Huh?
Are you using it on your computer?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have any issues with it. But when I use it on my phone, then I have issues with it.
Okay. I'm wondering if I just need to delete stuff from my phone. I don't know. From my
you're using
computer. No, computer. I'm using it on the PC.
Yeah, so when I do use Filmora on my computer, it does lag out. Let's check the...
Oh, I'm just agreeing with you guys. It's
You were receiving a vision or something. You were going to...
He's having a chocolate party in his mouth.
Okay, I'm gonna share an experience with you guys.
Yeah.
Last night we were we went to the Heath Ward had an active. Are you shooting flies?
Oh, there's a hair coming.
So first one guy was receiving a vision, and this time the other guy is just doing karate chops of something. I'm gonna do some. Can you guys see me? What am I doing? You know the funny thing. Anyway, continue with my. Okay, so the Heath Ward was having they had an activity, and they had the same activity last year, and they invited me, but I couldn't go. But this time
What's
I
it
was able
called?
to go.
What'd you say the name was?
It's a missionary activity. I hadn't said it
Oh,
yet.
okay.
So they were having a missionary activity, and what they do is all of their youth, they issue mission cards to them, and then they assign them to anywhere in the world, right? And kind of like a mission. But what they do is they assign it to people who have gone on missions in those areas in their ward. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes.
So the Elders Quorum president, he served his mission in Samoa. So they called 3 missionaries to serve in Samoa, right? Then they were 3 sister missionaries. And so he was going to host them, and he invited me to come over. And so I brought a Samoan dish and came in my lava lava, And when we got there, he went through the whole presentation of how they eat in Samoa, how they do things in Samoa, how a mission is served in Samoa. It was such a great experience. It was fun.
That's really
But
cool.
that's not the best thing. So we ate, and then afterwards, as we were finishing up our eating, one of the and these girls, they're youth, right? So there were 3 young ladies there, a 14, a 15, and a 14-year-old. Okay, so keep that in mind. After we were done eating, we were just chit-chatting, and then suddenly what seems to be like she was the senior companion, she said, well, may we share a message with you? And I looked at the guy, looked at my wife, we're like, yes. So we went and sat down, and the message they shared was so amazing. It was spiritual. And we brought with us a newly baptized member of our ward. We were supposed to have a discussion with her last night, but I forgot that he invited us, so we took her with us. And the question that the young missionary asked was, she said, how does it feel to know, and asked this to the newly baptized member. She said, how does it feel to know that you have access to the repentance process? I can't remember exactly the question, but that was the question around repentance. And a newly baptized friend answered the question from the heart. And then they continued the discussion. The spirit was so strong. I was amazed. And the reason I was so amazed was because these are young girls, young women, and I know it was a mock missionary experience, but the spirit was real. The spirit that was there was true. I was so touched. And their message, they spent 20 minutes sharing their message, discussing the truths of the gospel about repentance. And the girl that shared her message, or that answered the question, shared from the heart as well. So I share that because I was just amazed at how well these young women were prepared and were taught to go to do their mission. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, that brought to mind where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I'll be also, right? That he's there, even though it's a mock thing or just whatever. I'm sure they were sincere in what they were doing, and they were talking and teaching the simple truth, right? Eternal truths. So that spirit will definitely be there. That's awesome. I like that story.
So tell me more about this experience. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool too, but about the mission thing, they call them for like a Sunday, right? And so then they go over to the person's house who served that mission, and they're there that evening talking about it.
Yes,
Dude, that's
yes.
awesome.
So last year they had young men. They had 3 young men that were called, and what they do is in their Wednesday night activity during the week, they issue the mission calls to them, and then it gives the family time to prepare. And so now they know what missionaries will come to their house, and so then on Sunday, all the missionary or all the youth gather at the church. Then they go. The family that's hosting goes and picks up those missionaries that are serving in that country, and then brings them over to their house. So the youth were dispersed amongst all members of the ward.
That
And
is
there were
awesome.
just three missionaries in the Brother Shaw's house, Brother and Sister Shaw's house. President Shaw, he's the Corps president. And yeah, it was beautiful. The reason I went there is because, like I said, he invited me because those were Samoan missionaries. We were called to go to Samoa, so he did the whole traditional thing for them and explained it to them, showed them where Samoa was at. So it was
Cool.
an amazing experience.
Heck yeah, that is really cool.
Remember back in the day, they did mini missions.
Missions, yeah. I thought of that, and because our state did mini missions, but it lasted for a whole week. I don't know how long did you guys mini mission were for?
I never did one, but I know our stake was doing it.
I think by the time we got old enough to do it, they didn't do it anymore. Because I remember older youth doing it, and then I think that the church doesn't allow it anymore because they would go and live with the missionaries. From what I understood, they stopped doing that. I don't know. Like I said, I think it was a church thing, but I could be wrong. Maybe it was just the mission president at that time. But because I don't see it anymore, I'm thinking that it was a church thing that they decided not to anymore.
But to your point, though, when I was on my mission, our mission president still did mini missions, and so we had people that were not called, but that were given the opportunity to do a mini mission. Then they came and lived with us during the course of a week, and they got to experience what it was in the life of a missionary.
Well, Jacob, that seems to be about right, because we are a lot younger than this guy. So by the time we became youth, then we couldn't do it.
By far.
And here we that's another. So I never went on a mini mission, but I think my sister did and my brothers did. They were older.
He's trying to backtrack now.
No. Yeah. And so you're right for you guys that are.
I mean, it wasn't a mini mission when I was there. They just came and stayed with us because we needed to watch them.
No, when I was on a mission, we were still doing mini missions. So the point I was making was I think it was based on the mission, not necessarily because I don't know if it was a church thing, but they did it in Samoa. But I served in Australia, and our mission did a mini mission.
But that's what I was saying. By the time we got old enough to do it, so you were still on your mission when they were still doing it. But by the time you were off and we got old enough to be able to do it, they probably did away with it in the church. That's what I was saying. It's an age thing.
Probably. Well, and while we're at it, yeah, I can still move a lot better than you guys.
I think I was in 5th grade when he was on his mission.
That would have meant I was in 3rd grade.
The senior when you guys were born. So that means I'm much more wiser than you guys. What experiences do you guys have?
I want to talk about what I mentioned yesterday or today but I just want to talk about my feelings of how I felt at Zion's and how that can be helped with the community, No, but I really love being able to go to Zion's Baptist Church yesterday, right? To sit there and to worship with them. I was sitting there and we were in the kind of the back row, a little bit, and I just the feeling I got just watching them as they're up, the choirs up there singing and going through, their worshiping us, and I just got caught up with my thoughts and the Spirit testifying to me that we truly are God's kids. Right? We are His children, and we have that one common person, and that's our Savior, right? Who we look up to, who we worship, and who who we love, right? And we go to. And the song that I don't know the name of the song, but the name of the song, they repeat Jesus' name, right? And that's their worship. I'm not sure if you guys remember that song or know what that song is, but it just testified to me. Yeah, we truly are all God's kids, and we worship Jesus Christ. We go through Jesus Christ to get to the Father. And it's just a sweet thing to do that, to be able to go and to support and befriend people from all over, just not just the Zion's Baptist Church, but other places that I've been to, other churches and stuff. It's just a sweet testimony to me. We have so much division with religions, and we have so much controversy out there in the world with different denominations, even within just the Christian denominations, that I don't think needs to be there.
Yeah. So two things come to mind. Like one, like Pastor Griggs always been a uniter, right? Like from day one, he called me up the day after I met those two women from the church, and right away, his first thing was to invite me to a prayer meeting with other religious leaders in the community. And then I look at like another city, that it seemed like our church was kicked out of that prayer meeting, but what the two churches, our church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and Zion Baptist churches have been able to accomplish by uniting together has been awesome. And then you see the complete opposite when the other group another prayer group decided they didn't want us involved in there. But when people come together in Jesus Christ's name, miracles happen. I mean, this has been a truly good experience where we've gotten to become friends and brothers and sisters with people from another church, just showing, like what you said, that we truly are all of God's children. So I do enjoy it. And they've been to our church service as well. And they've seen the difference in the two, and we have mutual respect and love for each other. So I enjoy going there as well.
I counted that there were, I think, either 14 or 15 members of a church that attended yesterday. And to your point, I love seeing that we were all there supporting, and we weren't trying to get any recognition, but, Pastor Griggs, when he got up, he just thanked members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for being there and supporting. He's been there 27 years, right? Is that what they said?
I think so. Yeah, he's been preaching or in the ministry, he said, for 45 years, there for 27, and then it was his 60th birthday.
Yeah. So it was really happy to see, again, to what you're saying, the unity. Like, we may have different political views, we may have different views with how we worship, but when we came together, we were all just friends and people, neighbors, and the community friends, and we were all there together. So I really appreciated that. I'm glad we.
And I like how we do not just like on Sunday, to show that, but we actually do things together, outside of Sunday, and serving, the food things or whatever it is that they do,
Yeah, there's been multiple things. I mean, we've gone caroling with them to old folks' homes. We've gone, we've helped them out with their, they have a health and wellness fair, and then also, with the food drives. That's been a really good thing as well. There's something I was going to say. Oh, so you said different. Well, anyways, I lost my train of thought. What I was going to say, but yeah, I agree.
I just like how we're being proactive in the community with each other. Yep, that's my point in all this was. How
was your vacation, Jacob?
Oh, I can tell you some stories, but I don't think y'all. I know exactly what you're gonna say. Oh, where's the pictures? Where's the?
No, I'm not gonna say where's. I'm gonna say I believe that you caught a shark. I mean, not a shark, a stingray.
It was a stingray. That sucker was like, you can't even see my hands in my video. That's how big it was. This thing was huge.
Okay, now I need to see a picture. Now that you're beginning to show how big that thing was.
When I brought it up to the water, I looked at it. Huh?
You saw my big fish that I caught. I had pictures. That's
that size fish that you caught. The fish that I caught could have eaten that thing after 2 bites.
Oh, sure. And you know what? I was fishing at a pond in Roy City. I caught a shark. I forgot to take a picture though.
Well, that's not even like plausible. You know what I'm saying? That's not even.
Hey,
Mine was a stingray in the ocean.
I caught it, man. I caught it. I'm just telling you. But you won't be able to see the picture.
My boys were with me. So are you saying that my boys that are 12 and 11 are liars?
No, they told me they couldn't remember.
They can fib. I was trying to use their innocence, but I was like, no,
we should put their recording here whenever you asked them, hey, boy, I caught that. And Maddox was like, I don't know.
You guys are crazy. But it was fun, though.
Where'd you guys go? You guys went
We went down to
right?
Aransas Pass. We were staying in Aransas Pass. So that's Port Aransas area, the pass right before you get to Port Aransas on the water there. It was fun. It was a good time just to get away and get the kids down there.
What did you pay per night for that place?
It was, for the whole, we were there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So 4 full nights and checked out Friday. It was like $630.
That's not bad at all.
I know. That's why I got it.
Send me
Everything else around it was like $1,200, and all that. I was like $650. So I had to make sure it was really that price. And when they said yeah, I was like, ooh, okay, I'm getting it.
You got on Airbnb?
How many bedrooms?
Okay, well, let me back up. It was, Heather and Nivea, it wouldn't have done for them. Me and the boys, we just need a place to sleep and get up and leave, right? I'm sure you guys are probably the same way. But for my wife and my daughter, no, it wasn't really. We've stayed at Airbnbs before, and it has a whole get up and the whole setup in the house and all that kind of stuff, and they love it. And this really wasn't that. It was a fisherman's thing, right? So you're there to fish, pretty much. That's it. So it was very basic. Basic is what I'm saying. It wasn't like all furnished, all really nice and all that. It had two good sized beds and a couch and a stove and a fridge. That's what I need.
Okay,
but
it's true. I don't think Kenneth would have stayed at the place though, but they would have.
That's right, because he's bougie too, right?
He's bougie. Yeah, he's bougie.
Bougie. Yeah, not bougie. Bougie.
Hey, you just said boujou before, so you said it too, boujou.
We're saying that you're bougie.
Yeah.
He won't even do TikTok dances. Oh no! You guys do that.
That's
true.
He won't even jump in the pool.
Oh, I jump in the pool, just not by myself with another man. No one else is around. No, we don't do that stuff here.
This guy, he's scared of guys with big muscles. All right. What about you? Anything else from you, Kenneth?
No, just doing missionary stuff. It's been good. I put on my name badge yesterday. It said Elder Holland. Just kidding. No, it's been fun though. It's good.
I have mine still.
I still have mine too. He's got his that says Elder Holland. Mine says Elder Holland.
What does it say? What did it say?
Well, it has the accent above it. Elder Holland.
When does he leave for Argentina?
Thursday. Well, no, he goes to Mexico, remember? He goes to the CCM. So he goes CCM for, on Thursday, and he'll be there for 5 weeks, and then he leaves after 5 weeks and goes to Argentina.
Only 5 weeks?
Yeah, because he's already been in the MTC for a week by then, a little over a week, and so it's 6 weeks. Yeah.
When Keil went on his mission, he was in the MTC for 12 weeks.
Really? Huh.
12 weeks?
But he had to learn 2 languages.
Why? Well, where did he go?
He served in Tahiti, so he had to learn French and then Tahitian. So he entered the MTC in November, and so he was there all of November, all of December, and then middle of January they left for Tahiti.
Okay, so listen to this. This Jacob, do you know Alma Alvarez, right? Did you ever know her brother Eric? Okay.
Yeah, I played volleyball like outside.
Yeah. You remember they had a friend named Caesar that could not speak any English at all?
Yeah.
Remember that guy? Okay. Yeah. Did you ever see him when he came back from his mission?
Yeah.
So he came back from his mission. The guy could speak English perfectly.
He could speak it
And not only that, I was like, man, I'm amazed. I said, you speak perfect English. And he said, yeah. He said, because he went to Chicago. And so up in Chicago, they had to speak I swear he said 4 or 5 different languages because they had to speak English, Spanish, Vietnamese, and then I think other languages too. So he was like, so we just go through the list. Oh, that's okay. We speak this, as it. And I mean, he came back a whole new, like everyone does, a whole new person. But I was shocked. So to hear you say that he spoke those two languages, I'm impressed by everyone that can go out there and do that. Let alone one language, but to then go and learn multiple languages, that's very impressive.
And that, to your point, right? He said it was crazy. They spent 5.5 weeks on French, and then they spent 4 or 5 weeks on Tahitian. And then after that, they said, okay, you're qualified to go. and then they went.
That's why he was in there for so long then, because it's usually 6 weeks, I think, foreign speaking.
You know what comes to mind is like, if you try to do that for business, right? They'd be like, oh, heck no. You're not even close to being ready, right? But then for a mission, it's awesome because you get those down, you get that those fundamentals down, and you get that desire to do it. And then, but yeah, like you said, you're qualified to go. But who truly qualifies them, right? The Lord. And He's going to be there, and He's going to help, and He's going to bless them and just help them, right? That's pretty cool.
So Odell's second class, the one in the evening, the sister there just speaks Spanish to him. Like, started off, I think they started in English, and then like the second day, it's like all Spanish. That's what Ruthie's class did too. Like, okay, there's no longer English spoken in this class, and they just start speaking Spanish. They just get immersed in it. So, but at first, everybody's like,
Masina explained to me what they were doing. She said the teacher said during the same time, right, when in the evening time they had to completely say it in Spanish. And she said the way that the teacher said it to them was just find a way to explain the words without, just use the words that but without using any English at all. So
okay, I've got something really cool to share with y'all. Okay, you ready? So Odell shared this with me. So one of his devotionals.
You mean Odell Holland?
Yeah, well, Odell. To me, he's Odell still. So he shared this with me, and it was really neat, man. I was just like, I've become such a sensitive baby now, man. The emotions start flowing whenever I hear things like this. It's just amazing. Like the Spirit just touches me in a way that grabs hold of my emotions. But anyways, so he said that they had a special fireside for all the language missionaries, and this brother started talking about the gift of tongues, and he said he was in Russia, and he said the Lord knew that He needed to send me far enough away so that I wouldn't be able to walk back home, because he said he was so hard for him to learn the Russian language. They said that, or he said that he couldn't speak it very well at the time, and I think either stake president or something asked him in stake conference to share his testimony, and all he could really say was like, I believe, I know it's true, and that's all he could really do, and he felt like a failure. Then that evening he gets a message from the zone leaders, and they said, hey, Sister so-and-so wants you to baptize her. And she's like, well, I'm not teaching a Sister so-and-so. I think you have the wrong number. It's another set of elders. And the zone leader said, no, it's the sisters are teaching her, and she's been on the fence about being baptized, but she heard your testimony and felt the Spirit and now wants to be baptized, and now wants you to baptize her. And so she got baptized, and then she moved back to Ukraine because her and her husband were in a split. I think they were split up. So she was living in Russia at the time. So after she got baptized, she went back to her husband in Ukraine. And this woman became so instrumental in establishing the church in Ukraine. So like she got the first ward going in Ukraine, and so many other things, miracles started happening in Ukraine through the efforts of this sister that he baptized. So he didn't know any of this, could never find her in any way because he was always looking in Russia. So years later, he gets called as a mission leader in Ukraine, and he finds out about her and all these things. And some guy asked to take a picture of him, and he asked him what his name was, and it was the same last name of this lady, and he said, you baptized my mom. and that's why I want to get a picture of you. And then he found out that the mom had done all these things in Ukraine, and everybody knew who she was. And so he couldn't go and visit her though, because she was on the other side of Ukraine, and that was outside of his mission boundaries. So right before, I think it was right before he went home, the mission boundaries were realigned, and her ward or her stake was now inside of his mission boundaries. So he went to a stake conference and explained everything shared the experience that I was sharing with you. And then he said, and that's the sister right there. And he pointed to her. So they were able to meet up. But isn't that amazing? Like, he had no idea that this had happened, and all these miracles were taking place because he decided that he wanted to, or that he, even though he didn't have too much confidence, he still was obedient, shared his testimony in Russian, and the lady's heart was touched. And I believe, the Lord, if you're not going to step up, then he will use somebody else. But that's an awesome experience that he stepped up. The Lord was able to use his testimony to touch that lady's heart, who was very instrumental in getting the restored gospel throughout Ukraine. What a cool experience.
Thank you.
It's neat when we bear testimony, right? And so on a personal level for me, on that same mind, well, when you were speaking, Kenneth, these thoughts came to my mind, and it was a friend of mine, and you guys know him, but I'm not going to say his name. But it took him a while. We were teaching him. This is when I was still in Garden First Ward, so it's been years and years and years, and then all time passes, and then when Zinnia passed away, when we're at the church and we're doing her services at the church, he was there, and his wife, and after the services, a couple of days later, he came to me and was like, "Hey, I think I'm ready to be baptized now. I want to do it." But he was so hesitant for so long. But then when he said, I was like, "Well, what happened? What changed?" He's like, your testimony in at your daughter's service. I forget that word of the service, or not the actual funeral at the grave, but at the church, right? But he said when you were testifying and bearing your testimony of the gospel and how it brought you happiness still through this, and just the way you were talking, he's like, there had to have been something about this, for you to do this, go through this thing, but then still be able to show happiness and joy in a time of grief. So he's like, this is something, he said he felt it really strong. But my point is our testimonies, right? We should whether it's in a different language that we don't know, or something that we hold dear to ourselves, when we share it, the Lord is going to back us up. And if it's truth, the Spirit is going to testify. And that's the awesome thing about it all.
Definitely. Amen.
Thank you both. Thank you for sharing your testimonies. That was excellent. Should we close it, Jake?
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Brotherhood and Banter. Till next time, like, subscribe, share.